Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into an absolute epic, a true historical saga of ultimate bravery. We're talking about standing toe-to-toe with a massive empire and just flat-out refusing to blink. Get ready for the legendary story of the Lioness of Jhansi. Now, I want you to imagine trudging around with a giant, incredibly heavy backpack all day. But here's the catch. It's not even filled with your stuff. It's stuffed to the brim with other people's unfair rules, their expectations, and their doubts about you. So what actually happens when someone is brave enough to just take it off and throw it away? Well, to see what true bravery really looks like, we're traveling back to 1858. Picture the towering, cold stone walls of the Jhansi fort. The air is literally thick with the smell of gunpowder. And right at the center of it all is Rani Laxmibai, a fierce queen who stared down the most terrifying colonial empire on earth and simply said, "No way." Section 1. The Ultimate Betrayal. Refusing the Kala Kanon. Our epic starts with the British Governor-General using a sneaky little policy called the Doctrine of Lapse. You can think of it like a completely twisted cheat code used by the empire. Since the queen's husband had passed away, they used this fake rule to deny her adopted son, Damodar, his rightful throne, attempting to just steal her independence right out from under her. It was basically the ultimate bully tactic. They stripped her of her rights, denied her son's future, and assumed, wrongly, by the way, that a widowed queen would be easily intimidated into surrendering her home. But man, did they completely underestimate her. They expected quiet surrender, but instead they awakened a roaring lioness. Section 2. The Siege of Jhansi. Defiance in March 1858. Okay, so this sets the stage for the ultimate underdog battle. On one side, you have General Hugh Rose's massive British army equipped with devastating, heavy cannons. And on the other, the Queen and her brilliant Durga doll, an unstoppable all-women's army. When the British attacked, these fierce defenders fought back from the high fort walls using whatever they had. We're talking pouring down hot oil, hurling stones, and just relying on sheer, unbreakable willpower against heavy artillery. Section 3. The Legendary Leap. A daring freefall to freedom. Eventually, traitors secretly opened the fort gates, cornering the Queen. But you know what? Giving up just wasn't in her vocabulary. In a truly cinematic, jaw-dropping escape, she securely strapped her young son Damodar right to her back. She mounted her lightning-fast horse, Badal, and leaped directly off the towering stone walls of the fortress into the night. You know, sometimes dropping the role of the victim means you have to leave your familiar fortress. It can feel exactly like a terrifying free fall into the unknown. The Queen lost her physical castle that night, but by taking that incredible leap, she completely escaped the oppressor's narrative and gained her absolute freedom. Section 4. The Final Stand. The Bloody Morning at Gwalior Fort. Let's track how fast this incredible momentum built. We go from the brutal siege of Jhansi in March to her breathtaking leap in the spring, leading right to June 18, 1858. Under morning skies described as red as blood, the Queen was surrounded for her ultimate, final boss fight against heavily armed British cavalry at Gwalior. Chanting Jai Bhavani, the Queen fought like a literal force of nature. Seriously, she rode into the thick of battles, swinging swords in both hands. Even when a soldier cowardly attacked her from behind, she absolutely refused to back down. She was fighting for her honor, her legacy, and her people. Section 5. An Eternal Legacy. Protecting the Sovereign's Soul. Tragically, she fought to her very last breath on that battlefield. But her desperately loyal followers were determined to make sure the empire could never truly claim victory over her. They quickly carried her to a nearby hut and cremated her right there, ensuring the British could never even touch her body. Her sheer, terrifying bravery actually forced her biggest enemy, General Hugh Rose, to begrudgingly respect her. He famously stated, "Here sleeps the only man among the rebels." Now, obviously, that's an old-fashioned way of speaking, but what he was basically admitting was that this queen was, without a doubt, the absolute fiercest warrior on that entire battlefield. So what does this epic explainer really show us? Well, Rani Laxmibai teaches us how to become the hero of our own saga. First, refuse to carry the burden your oppressors force on you. Second, take that terrifying leap toward independence. And finally, fight fiercely for your own values and your own legacy. So I'll leave you with this thought today. Inspired by the absolutely legendary defiance of the Lioness of Jhansi, what heavy backpack are you finally dropping today? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep forging your own epic path.